Hello, students. We shall be having our first class today from 11 to 2. Be punctual. Try to click on the Bluetooth live video and then join the session. Gideon, sasa habari yako? Gideon? Linus? Habari yenyu? So good morning. Welcome to our third lesson that will be taking place from 11 to 1. Thank you for joining early. Yeah, it's okay. Lily, you're saying, hey, I'm only listening only. It's okay. If you have an issue, you can continue chatting. So I will be joining the class. Tell them to join very quickly. Give them 2 minutes. I want to be sharing whatever we're going to study today. Thank you, Gideon and Lily, for joining the class early. That is good. Actually, nikimaliza tu kutengeneza nimeona watu chap. I today want to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen, but remember all these notes, you have them. I'm also going to upload after this. Upload mutaziona. So karibuni Karaoke. So I'm uploading my notes. I be kila mtu good. I know this active class. It's one of my favorite class. I don't want us to waste a lot of time. I have heard that students are complaining about the bundles. Hakuna mtu anataka pesa yake ikuliwe. Nikikuliwa inataka ukuliwe kuwa umefanya kitu. So we cannot wait for everyone to join, and yet we are using money. So I know you're in WhatsApp. Please SMS them. But when the screen starts, I'm going to start. The good thing about this, whatever we record, you can go through it anytime. And if you have a problem, you can always consult me anytime, any day. I'm expecting my screen to share. Share your screen. I'm trying to share my screen. So when you see it, say yes. Let me share it again. Today we are doing software requirement. Remember, we have been talking about what is a software, the benefits of software, why you are studying this unit. We have the objective of this. Even this study, we have some objective. The software requirement. We are going to see the 3 objectives. The topic covered, all this. Good. Sasa mbona inapotea? What is happening? I have so many documents. Let me see what the problem. Let me share it again. Sorry for that. Let me share it again. Who will tell me what is happening? I'm trying to share. Sasa hii ni nini? Who will guide me? There's a problem of my screen. I'm trying to stop sharing the screen so that maybe. Guys, allow me to leave, then I come back. As you join. Yeah, so I'm back again. We had a problem when I was trying to share the notes. Sometimes if your machines give you a lot of trouble, all you need to do is maybe restart everything. So I'm again. Hello. I think now it's okay. What about now? Yes, Sarah. We continue. So today's topic, we wanted us to be able to cover the software requirements, the software requirement. Remember, I've been discussing what is a software. Mhm. So, and first of all is to learn the objectives. What are the objectives of software requirement? What are the objectives of software requirement? You'll be able to see, yeah, most of you can be able to hear me. So, the first one is to introduce the concept of the user and the system requirement. When you're talking about the user, we said it is you. And when we are talking about the system requirement, that is what the system you are doing in a hitaji nini. That is one objective. The other one is to describe the functional and non-functional requirement. Remember, we are going to be studying about the functional requirement, non-functional requirement. Number 3 is to explain how software requirement may be organized in a requirement document. So this one is just to give you a way forward of what we are covering. So the other thing we are going to be covering, or I want us to go through, is topic covered under this. So the topic we are covering today is one, the functional and non-functional requirement, the user's requirement, what you require as a user, the system, what the system requires, the interface, that is the link between you and the machine, that is what we call when we talk about the interface specification, the software requirement document, what document do you need to start that program. So if we proceed, requirement engineering. So the first thing is to be able to explain the term requirement engineering. These ones, we are saying it is a process for the surfaces that the customer require from a system and the constraint. So you need to establish, when you go to the market there, we say you have to know what do they require. You know, some people will go to start coming up with a software, and yet some people do not require. Like now in ZTech University, we have this system that we are using so that we can be able, like, if we have this system that can be able to study, imagine who could prepare chakula at how to order your food. Is that a requirement in our system? No. But today you're going to do your online exams. I know you have seen the process. I know you have been reading it so that it is able to guide you. You have been downloading whatever it is able to guide you during the exam, the PDF that we have been sending you. And I know most of you are going to sit for the exam, and it is your first exam time, and this one will help you to know a lot of knowledge. Now imagine in ZTech, such a system, it is helping you. So it means even if you come back to school, you are going ahead, you are proceeding. Si ati utaanza kusema nilisomea sijui nini 3 months ago ndio nafanya. ZTech has made it easy for you that you are going to do your online exams, and these online exams enables you to go forward. So in ZTech, if you have a system for at the car parking, yes, we have the cars where people park, but will it be important in the system? So requirement in that, we mean, what does this system require? If you're making a system in a hotel, you know the requirement. Today that will be a booking for exam for what? In a hotel. If it's a police station, you're not going to tell them class attendancy for what? No. So you have to know the right requirement, what is needed, and the description of the system during the requirement processing engineering. That is what we are talking about. The other one, what is a requirement? This one, we read about this one. We don't have to read all of them. You'll be able to see what a requirement is. Requirement abstraction, Davis. So this one, we can read it together. Let us read it together. Make sure you are also reading on your side, and so that we are able to see requirement and this one. So if a company wishes to let a country development, personally, can you hear me? My headphones have a problem. So I proceed. Hello. Thank you for joining, guys. Sylvia, niambie unanisikia vizuri? Yeah, yes. Thank you, Sylvia, for that. So we are saying if a company wishes to let a contract for large software development project, it must define its needs in sufficiently abstract way that a solution is not predefined. The requirement must be written so that several contractors can bind the contract, offering perhaps different ways of meeting the client organization needs. Once a contract has been awarded, the contractor must write a system definition for the client in more detail so that the client can be able to understand and can validate what the software will do. Both of these documents may be called the requirement document for the system. So you remember when I told you that you're going to come up with softwares. Wachana sasa na hii yenye utatengeneza ya kupresent. When you go to such an organization, you also have to bid. That is what they are saying, the contract. You know, you can be given a contract like, by the way, this system that we are using today for ZTech University, we never had an idea of that kutakuwa na corona, but I know the system was being built. Of course, there is e-learning, but this e-learning system was not broad for everyone. We even never had something like the big brutal. We never had the GINTC. We never had the wikis. We never had the charts. We never had the big brutal. We never had all this that we are using today, but we had some mission of activities and resources where if you're working somewhere, you could be able to do your learning in class, and then after you do the e-learning, we are able to see as lecturers what you are doing. We are able to upload notes for you. We are able, but you could not do like a Zoom meeting. You know what it means by Zoom meeting. But today, this system is helping, and these people who are given the contract, and most of them being IT guys, us being involved, you see it is very beneficial. So if you bid this contract, we don't know how long Corona is going to work. So imagine one day you wake up and this system cannot work, it collapses. What will happen? So this contract, if you bid, you have to know this system is going to help you for maybe 3 years or even forever. So it means those people who have been able to come up with the system, they have to keep updating it, they have to keep maintaining it. Remember us talking about maintenance and all that. It has to be tested, it has to be working, because if today we wake up and we say there's no online learning, what will happen? Everyone will be affected. The lecturers will be affected, the school committee will be affected, the students will be affected. Imagine your plans was to finish Utoke ZTech by the end of this year, so that maybe you join your degree or you have a job somewhere, and someone comes tells you you cannot be able to continue with your studies. It will affect everyone. The lecturers, everyone will be affected. All of us, even that gate person, everyone will be affected by that. So when you are going to be making software, remember that bid that you do when you're given the contract, you have to meet the objectives. Now, let us go to the types of requirement. There are various requirements that we were talking about. You remember when we started, there are various. So the first requirement, hope you can see what I'm sharing. The first requirement is the user's requirement. Then we have the system requirement. The user, what have you been told? Written for customers. This one is specifically written for the customers. And in the software engineering language, they are saying the statement is in natural language plus the diagram of the service. Then we have the system requirement. These are document setting, which is detailed with description of the system function. So each system inafanya hivi, it defines what should be done, what should be implemented, the contract between the client and the contractor. So what have you agreed? You, the user, you have this. This is what I require. Please, you are asking the organization, before I start doing this software, you have given me this work. You have given me this. You want me to develop this in ZTech University. So as an ICT manager, then you are going to pay me this. And then you are going to provide these resources. Because you know most of these softwares, they need a lot of money. And if you cannot be provided with anything, enda tufanye siku ile itavaa kulete. Sometimes inakuwa noma kwa sababu utakuta hao watu wanaweza kuruka. So lazima endelee kukulipa ama something. So some of the system, if you are employed in an organization and you're given a contract of 1 year, will you stay there for 1 year? Even they are not even giving you even a shilling, and you are just making a system for them. No, they pay you, but you remember, as a user, you have a contract agreement. You have to achieve your objectives. So the system, what it is requires. Also, you have to know what the system requires so that it is able to help you come up with a good software. The other one is the definition and also the specification. The user requirement definition, they are saying the software must provide means of representing and accessing external files which are created by other tools. The system requirement specification. So there's this specification that the system requires. One of them you can read it also for yourself. Facilities to define the type of external files. When you're talking about the external file, these ones are not like the internal files. The external file may have an associated tool which may be applied to the file. When you read all of them, you'll see what they mean. That's where you have the notes. Remember, you pages to cover. You also have the requirement reader. These are the requirements needed. Which one? If it is a user, you know you are the user. If it is the system, able to know about the system, then you have ones. If you read these ones, the user requirement, we have the client managers, the system and users, the client, the contractors. So it involves this. The system, it involves this. The software design, it involves this. So it is also your work to go through them so that you're able to if it is the client manager or the function non-functional requirements. Hope you are together. These ones, they are statement of services the system should provide, how the system should react to particular inputs, and how the system should behave in particular situation. That is what it means. It is self-elaboratory, so you can be able to elaborate for yourself. Non-functional, we are saying the constraints on the service or the function offered by the system, such as timing, the constraint, the development, the standard, all these. The domain requirement, these ones that come from the application domain of the system that reflect the characteristics of the domain. So let me ask you, what is a domain? Can I choose someone, anyone in class? What is a domain? The shared screen is still at requirement abstraction. Na sasa? I share it again. Thank you, Mercy, for that. So we're talking about the functional and non-functional requirement. So Teresa is saying it is a distinct subset of the internet with addresses sharing a common suffix, e.g. the www, Facebook. When she akitupatia hiyo domain tunaona ikiwa a bit easy, so it is specifies another person, www Facebook. What is the domain class? Hussein, leo hujaongea na mimi. Nani mwingine? Misoi, Teresa, Sylvia, we have Olwa. These names guy, aki mulipatiwa na wazazi wenyu majina digital, ati Olwa Vaki Kaifasa. Hey, can you? Hey, okay. Olwa, me I'll call you Olwa. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it right. Then we have Mercy, Lucy, Linus, Rivian. Yeah, your names are so good, some of you. Gawara, we have Alex, we have Budi Maxwell, Guy Fafa, Os, Andrew, Nagira. Naona yangu wenye ni simple Helen tu Nyabura, hata mimi nitachange jina yangu. I'll change my name. I'll call. So anyway, I'm kidding. I'm waiting for you to type what is a domain. It is a target subject of a computer, of a computer program. Another person. What is a domain? Domain in software engineering. Set ya umeniwekea tu hapo na wewe uko shughuli zako na mimi najiongelesha. Most of you know what is a domain. It can be defined in so many ways. So, a domain. So I can see Mercy typing, but maybe on my side, when I mean it, I say it's ni kama website name. And this one in a address kama vitu za internet, the user, so that the user can access your website. If you want someone to access kuingia nitumie jina ingine. If you want someone to access your website, there is a domain name, like the way Nani have given us, www.facebook. Like when you want even to enter into Zitech University, like the website, you have to know the domain. So it is sana sana inatumika kutafuta for finding, identifying computer on the internet, the way Hussein has told us, the way Nani has told us, it's also correct. So that is what we'll talk or say a domain is. So most of you are saying the correct thing. Alex is saying it's a set of websites on the internet that ends with the same letters, for example, .com. Yeah, and it guides you when you want to enter the network. So as we continue with our notes, we were talking about the functional and functional requirements. So remember, you can be able to differentiate that even in exam and also for your own benefits. The other one is a functional requirement. So these ones, the functional one, they are saying they describe the system is of functions. You know, when you're talking about functions, when you're talking about the functions, we have these different functions that system is supposed to perform. If the system is supposed to make sure that when the user log in, they can be able to identify the fingerprints or whatever, those are the functions that we are saying. And this one, you'll be able to find that the type of software or the expected users can be able to type the system where the software is. The other thing about the functional requirement, if you read the last part, they are saying functional user requirement may be high-level statement of what the system should the system service in detail. So that one you can be able to understand what it means. The LIBSY system. This one means library. What? Will be able to tell us. Nani ameisikia such a system? Who have heard of that? Nani hajaongea? Linus, umenyamaza sana. Linus? What does that mean? Such a system inamaanisha nini? You can unmute yourself, one of you. Empathy. Thank you. So what does that mean? Have you ever heard of that, or I continue? Oh, thank you, Sarah. Bye. It's a library. Yes, Linus is saying it's a library management software. Yes, it's a library management software. You'll be able to see it is a library management software, and most of the time it exists in the system in the library. Most of the people, how do I also define it? I'll give an example, like when you go to the library. This one, it provides a single interface to a number of databases of articles in different libraries. And they are saying the user can search for, download, and print these articles to personal study. So imagine you have a lot of books. Maybe I'll just give an example, my own example. You can also share with me or share with the class your example. Imagine you have so many books for maybe statistics. And there are different levels. If you have done if you have done statistics, there is 1, there is 2, there is statistics 3. It's like probability 1, probability 2, probability 3, and you're searching for different books. If there is the system can help you to be able to find different books when you just organize the system in a very good way. Like, and you'll see, this one we are saying it is in a database. Database, we are saying it's a collection of data so that it helps you when you want to search for something. Like in Zitech University, let us assume you are 3,000 students. Like Lucy Wajiro. I'll give an example with Lucy Wajiro because my mom is also called exactly. Kwa hivyo Lucy sijui kama wewe ni wetu. Lakini Lucy Wajiro is also a very common name. At the same time, Helen Yabula is also a common name. Zingine si common. Hussein is also common in Muslim. I have so many friends known as Hussein. So what I mean, if they want to search my names as Lucy Wajiro, tunaweza pata kuna Lucy Wajiro kama 10 kwa shule. kwa university ama sasa tulikuwa tunachukua huduma namba. Wajiro Kenya ni wengi sana, lakini what identification, what is different that is going to make Lucy in the system unique? So when you're talking about the database articles in different libraries, these ones are how the arrangements are in the library. So this one provides a single interface. When you're talking about interface, it's a link between you and the user. So that is what I would say the system libs or LIBSYS is. So let us continue. Sorry. Examples of functional requirement. We have the user shall be able to search either all of the initial set of database or select the subset of which the system shall provide appropriate viewers for the users. Yes, you have to create in that system the function of the function. You have to give us good viewer. The viewers have to know what they are doing. Provide appropriate viewers for the user to read the document in the document store. Unajua wengine wana create vitu zingine, you even do not know the function of something. Even if you decide to come up with any system, you have to let the viewers, the users get accessible, get easy way. Like if you have seen the system you are using, if you want to be able to have a guide, you can have a guide because it is created for all the users. And if you continue about that, you'll be able to understand more. We have requirement impression. Those ones are not very important. You can read them on your own. So let us go to non-functional requirement. So I want you to be able to differentiate between functional and non-functional requirement. Functional is in our operate. Non-functional, you also should know. This define the system properties and the constraints. They define the system properties and also the constraints. E.g., we have reliability, response time, and the storage requirement. The constraint are I/O, meaning input and output devices. Remember, we talked about the input devices when we are doing about the software. What is a software? These are the programs. What is a hardware? We are able to say these are the physical tangible devices. So when you're talking about the input devices, output devices at your level, you should be able to understand that. If you don't know, by the way, give me the examples of input devices, type them, examples of output devices. Let me see what you know. Class. You can unmute yourself. I'm going to listen only. Output, give me at least 3 examples. Budi, Maxwell, karibu. Keyboard ni gani? Input. Make it a statement so that you're able to see. Yes. Input, output, we have the monitor, speaker, input, didn't the same keyboard, mouse, liners, no. Thank you, speaker project. Most of you know what we are talking about. That is good. That's why I say I really love this class. People participate. Now, leo Bogonko. Ikiwa sija pronounce jina yako vizuri. Please forgive me. I said I come from process where let me not Bogonko, Denver. Hey, wow. Bogonko, Denver. Talk to me. Can you unmute yourself? Hey. You guys, your names. So Bogonko. That is nice. So we continue. Thank you, Hussein, for always participating. Lillian, Maxwell, thank you. So we continue. So when you're talking about the process required, also be specified in mandating a particular case system. When about a case system, when you're talking about a system, kidogo class. So requirement may also be specified in mandating a particular case. So what is a case? In software engineering, sawa. You can unmute yourself to tutaongea baadaye. So when you're talking about case, what is case? In software engineering, case is computer aided software engineering. Sijaandika hapo lakini unaweza andika pahali. So you are using the pens on your screens. So we mean computer aided software engineering. So this one means make them home. This one means that the development and also the maintenance of a software project will help in various automated software tools. So, and when you're talking about the case tool, that is a computer aided, I'm talking about the case, this CASE system, so that you're not able. And this one we are saying about the non-functional requirement. The process requirement may also be specified in mandating a particular case system. And now we're in the case system. Then it's computer-aided software engineering. That it means the development and also the maintenance of software projects in this idea. Now we will be able to see about case. When you're doing your project, these are a set of software application tool, and sana sana zinatumike kwa automated CDL activities, software development life cycle. And these case tools sana sana zinatumika kwa software project management analyst engineers to be able to develop the system. So these are tools they help. And when you continue to study, we even have the component of a case tool. Like now we have various tools like the Central, Repsoli. We have them. Can I remember them? All of them. Of course, we have the uppercase tool. We have the lowercase tool, integrated case tool. All of those. And you'll also be able to know when you're talking about the case, there's a scope of case tools. When you're talking about the scope, it is that area. Actually, in your project, you have to tell us scope. What are you covering? Are you covering, if you're talking about, you want to develop a software of corona detection, or you want to develop a software of Android application, you cover which scope, from where to where? The scope of a case goes through the CDL. And when you're talking about the CDL, we are talking about the system development life cycle, the activities from number one to the last one of testing, updating all those. And you'll be able also to see the case tool types, which you have the diagrams tools. We also had the process modeling tool. We had the project management tool, documentation tool, analysis tool, design tools, configuration management tools. We have even the programming tool, which you use in programming when you are choosing the language which you want to use, if it is Java, if it is C++, MATLAB, any language, the change control tool, the prototyping tool, all of those, even the web development tool, also the maintenance, all those. So in case it is a very broad thing that you can be able to talk about when you're talking about non-functional requirement. And I will also proceed to non-functional classification. Non-functional classification. When you're talking about the non-functional classification, my screen is still sharing what we are studying today. Yes, I can see it. Good. Thank you, guys. Actually, you are 20 of you. I want to also save these names of viewers because of the. And remember, I always take my class attendance. Thank you, by the way, for those who have been sending assignments, quizzes, whatever I've been giving you. I always see them in my email. I appreciate going through them, and God bless you. Functional classification, the non-functional classification. When you're talking about the non-functional classification, we have the product requirement, we have the organizational requirement, we have the external requirement. When you're talking about the product requirement, which specify the delivered product must behave in a particular way, execution speed and also reliability, that product, organization inataka nini. And they say in this term, these are the requirements which are consequence of organizational policies and also the procedures. They meet the, unajua kila organization iko na policies zake. Like, what do you think are some of the policies? What is a policy? These are standards, they govern, the rules that govern a certain organization. Example, I would ask you as a student, what do you think some of the policies in a university? What are some of the policies in a university? Give me an example. You can unmute yourself if you want to talk. Remember, we are allowed to participate. Some of the policies. What is a policy? What do you think organization, policies in a university, standard? What do you think they are? Do you think even they help our universities? Even if you're going to start your own, utaenda kwa organization unatengeneza software, and then they tell you, these are our policies, these are our standard, these are our procedures. You also have to know them, same way tunatengeneza system, and they help govern the organization rules. They help in even in management. If you become a manager in ICT, if you become a manager in software development, you have to have policies and procedures. So what do you think? Because what I know in my side, that our policy is sana predetermined by the course of action. And this one, they guide toward the business strategies. And if you have the policies and the standards, you are able to meet your objectives. So what are some of the policies that the universities have? What are some of the procedures? These are, when you talk about the procedures, we are talking about the ultimate goals of every. What are some of the goals? What do you think are the benefits of it? So what would you differentiate between policies and procedures? Maybe as you continue to give me the examples of policies in a university, then I can be telling you also the difference between policies and procedures. We have said requirement, which are consequences of organization, and I'm asking my question, what are some policies and procedures in a university? What are some policies and procedures? Like in Zitech University, unaweza sema gani? And I'll give you the difference between the policies and also the procedures. When you're talking about the policies, one difference is they are general in nature. They also explain why they exist. And they also describe who it covers. If it covers you as a student, you are told if this happens. I'm giving just an example. You remember the people who are giving me examples in a university. So it means they cover. They describe who covers it. Also, they describe the consequences. If you do this and this one here happen, they tell you if you, as a lecturer, you do this and this, there are consequences. When you come to procedures, they identify the specific action. They also explain when to take an action. They also give examples of things that have happened. They also show you how maybe it is a form of filling something. They also show you how to complete a form, something like that. So in your side, what do you think they are, policies and procedures? Policies and procedures. Class. Class. Kevin Kimutai, unaweza jiunmute tuambie? Kevin. Alex. Kwani mmelala? Nimeongea sana. I'm waiting class. Ama munisikii? By the way, talk to me today. Class. Haya, hamjui policies and procedures? Hey class. Lakini kama mmepotea nyinyi wote. Aren't you enjoying my lesson when I'm talking about this? Hamtaki vitu serious. Proper grooming. Yes, proper grooming. If you mess allowed, you come with hizi nguo baya zinaitwa aje hizi wasichana wanavaa? Boob top. Hiro is a nice top. Chiffon is also good. Sagged jeans. Concerning their tendency or participate, thong. How can you come to school with a thong and or you come in swimming costume? Imagine, and you allow us in the gate to allow you to come. Crop top. It's good because you can do it with a high waist. I'm not that vest. Hey, you cannot come to school with a vest. Imagine you with a vest. Crop top, you can do it, but I think it's a nice one. You just do it with a high waist. Proper hairstyle, yeah. Hairstyles. See, on fashion too. Lagged. yeah, sure. Continue. I'm a bra. Can you come with a bra? So Alex was also saying concerning attendance and participation. Yeah, if you don't participate in attendance, we kazi yako ni kukuja class moja, then the whole of that semester unaenda unaolewa, ukiolewa unarudi sijui siku ya exam. Nasikia kwanza watu wanaolewa sana. Zitek. Ni ukweli. Anyway, I'm kidding. But remember, as a student, know your goals, know your objectives, structure them, write them down. And by the way, I also guide students. So if you want guidance and counseling, I will help you anytime. Don't come to school without an objective. If today you are 20 years, make a schedule and say, from 20 years to 22, I'm going to finish my master's. No, not even master's. I'm going to have finished my degree. I'm going to have finished my diploma. Then after I finish my diploma, sitaenda kazi, nitajua ama nikienda kazi ni make sure nimemaliza degree. Nikimaliza degree niajiriwe kidogo, at least ni grow peke yangu hata before niolewe. Nikifika age ya 25, 26, hapo nikipata mtu mzuri, which is not a must. If you get a good guy who is serious, who can be able to come home and buy akununue ama ununuane. I decide. I'm also enjoying what you are saying, Bra. Yes, sure. No usage of drug in the school. Yes, all. So after that, when I finish, when I'm the age of 27, I get married. Then, nikifikisha by miaka 32, I'll have 2 kids and have finished the nini. Or if you want 10, ni sawa. If you want to, this one. By this, I want to have a car. I want to have my own house. I want to have this. I want to have this. Make your goals. Ukiwa na goals hivi unaenda far. And if you believe unaenda far sana, usidanganywe na mtu hakuna kazi. Kama saa hii jobs zenye ziko, jobs zenye zimetokea, you guys, so many. Don't get discouraged by anyone. I can tell you work is there. I can tell you you benefit from education. I'm praying God that I finish all my objectives. I even finished my PhD. I'm telling you, kazi ziko kwa wingi. Sahi edeni tu kwa Bright Monday mtaziona. Usidanganywe na mtu. So thank you for participating in that. Let us go back to class. Our topic, I was just talking. When you're talking about non-functional classification, I was able to explain all those procedures and also the external requirement, and hata nyinyi may participate. Non-functional requirement types, you also be able to see all that. There is a very good structured diagram that is showing us the non-functional requirement. We have the product requirement, organizational requirement, external requirement. You can see the product is at the efficiency requirement, the ability, portability, utapeleka hiyo nini, how is it going to be used, how is it going to perform the space. Then you can be able to see about the organization, and the organization you have how the delivery, the implementation, the standard requirement, and these after organization we have the still all of these are under non-functional requirement. And when you see under non-functional requirement, you see there is a product, organizational requirement, external requirement. The external requirements, those are the ethical requirements, and these ones, they evolve the legislative requirement, privacy, safety, all those. You can read more the diagram. Non-functional requirement examples, you'll be able to also to read through them. We have the goals of requirement. Everything has a goal. Non-functional requirement may vary from difficulty state precisely to the difficult verify. We also have the goals, agenda, intention of the users, such as the username. Examples, we have a system goal. You can go through them. I want us to requirement measures. When you're talking about the requirement measures, we have the property, we have the measure. When you're talking about the property, you can be able to read through them. Remember, I said you don't. You summarize your notes. You summarize your notes. You summarize your notes. There is the domain. We talked about the domain, user requirement, problem with the natural language. When you're talking about the natural language, we have lack of clarity, requirement confusion, requirement amalgamation, all that. You should be able to also to read. We also talked about that requirement, LIBSY. This one, it tells us what it requires, the library, the requirement problem, structured presentation, all of this. What else did I want? Well, we have also the interface specification. So if you're talking about an interface, what is an interface class, by the way? What is an interface? Before we finish our class, what is an interface? What is an interface? What is an interface? Time, because of time, because I also want to have to go to charts. What is an interface? What is an interface? Hapa mmelala. people say it is a connection between the user and the system. So for me, if I'm talking about the interface, because I don't want us to dwell in part of our software which use user interface too. An interface is a device or a system that unrelated entities use to interact. Mercy is also typing. Motuna is also participating. That is very good. What is an interface? The way a computer program presents information to a user. The way a computer program. I'm a comp. What do you mean by comp? I think it is a computer. You are typing. Program that enables a user to communicate with the computer. Yes, computer. Okay, Masi. Mutune has given us. Wacha tuone Michelle Jogona anasema nini? Michelle. So as you continue to type, still I'm reading what you're typing. So most of you are correct. Many people are typing. Continue typing as I explain more. So the way they have said, I think I can compile it and say, yeah, it is the shared borderly close switch two or more separate components of a computer. They exchange information. So how the information can be exchanged through the computer hardware, the peripheral devices, humans, and so also all this combination. And you'll be able to know such computer hardware devices such as a touch screen can both send and also receive through an interface. And you have different types of interface. I think you did them. You have the hardware interface, the software interface. And when you're talking about the hardware interface, this one exists core components such as the buses, the storage devices, input-output devices. So you can be able to see the hardware interface is described as a mechanical, electrical, logical signatures, all those. When you're talking about the software interface, this one, they refer to a wide range of different types of interfaces, by the way. And in OS, that is the operating system, you'll be able to see the interface it works with a piece of hardware. And all those application programs object, all those. But most of you have been able to give the correct answer. It enables two systems to interact. By the way, it's a program that enables the two systems to interact. So if the two systems to interact, the layers of the screen and menus in computer displays. Thank you, all of you. Olwa, Lucy, Kipko H, Moide, Michelle, Muni, a physical device brought on a connection that interacts with the computer or other hardware. Good. You are so intelligent, class. I love that. You are so committed to this class. It motivates me. Thank you so much. Always tell your friend when you're we have the list of the people who are supposed to be in this class. So tell them, I can be able to see your names. Most of you, like Hussein is always in my class, and others, Karaoke, all of them, Kimutai, you know yourself, Michelle, all of you, Lucy, all of you. But tell your friends, for those who have not been coming to class, they will not be able to sit for exam. This is a system that marks links. Exam ina mark. Mimi nitaka tu exam yangu niweke answers, wewe kazi yako ukifeel inajimark. System inaonyesha since this system logged, nani ameingia to 2 classes. So the system automatically says you cannot proceed. So when you are going to be proceeding for your exam, if it will continue to be online, it will be difficult. By the way, haikai ile system tunakuja na kitabu hapo unasainia rafiki yako. Hii system ina detect nani ameingia, Budi ameingia, Alex ameingia, Hussein ameingia, Karaoke ameingia, Kimtai ameingia. Kipin, na leo Kipin hajaongea. Kipkoech, Lydian ameingia, Linus, Lucy Wajiro, Manase, Mutune, Muide, Michelle, Masi, Mwangieli, Kigei Kalaja, Olwa, Telesa Juba pia leo ameninyamazia sana. a bit. All of you, the system can be able to detect. Remember that. Excuse me. I can't see your screen. You can see my screen. Who else? Monkey? Can you see me? Who else cannot see my screen? Oh, it's just loading. But we're almost finishing. I can share it again. Thank you, Monkey, for. By the way, I like when sorry. Monkey, sorry. I can't see it. Oh, sorry, Manasseh. Sorry for that. I feel happy when a person is able to tell me what, so that sijakaa najiongelesha tu hapa. Interface specification. Sijui kwa nini it is not set. It is taking time, but the class was almost over. Maybe I can compile what you are saying so that you're able also to listen. Yeah, I can see. You cannot be able to see my screen. I'm trying to share it. I think now you should see it within the next 2 seconds. But also remember, we are ending the class. We are ending the class, the online class. We go to our chats. I'm expecting even after this, you are 23 of you. When you go to chats, ensure you participate at least so many times so that the system can record your participation. And this one you're able to gain a lot. It ends slowly so we can continue. In today's class, we have been able to learn so much. And for those who are not with us, we are talking, the topic was about the system requirement, what the system requires. And our main theme today, I wanted you to know about the functional and non-functional requirement. I'm repeating what I have been saying. As the screen tries to share. If it is not able, I'm saying we are in it. The user requirement, we are under that. Requirement structure, leave that, the key points. So today class, I'll conclude by saying we are able to know what is a functional requirement. And we said, I'm repeating again for those who have not been there or for more clarification. In software engineering, we said a functional requirement, it is the one that defines a system or even its components. It also describes the function of software, the software functions that they must perform. So when you're talking about the function, we are saying it is nothing but it inputs. When you're talking about inputting data, you know what it means. It inputs the behavior and also outputs everything that the system needs. So we can say in conclusion that the functional software requirement, it will help you to capture the intended behavior of the system, and you'll be able to realize these behaviors may express as a function or service or task which the system requires to be provided. If you are not also in class, we talk about the non-functional requirement. And this one we say they define the quality attribute of a software system. And also they represent the standard used to judge the specific operation of a system. Example, I will say, how fast does the website load? How fast does a website load? So, what is a non-functional requirement? So that is what we are talking about. So, non-functional requirement also, you'll be able to know from what we discussed, it allows you to impose constraints of the restriction. So, Today, you should be able to borrow examples of non-functional requirement. What are examples of functional requirement? Differentiate between functional and non-functional requirement. Also, you should be able to say the advantages of that. And that's why we have the key points. We are saying requirements set out that what the system should do to define the constraint. The functional requirement also sets out the service the system should provide. Non-functional requirement also there is the constraints of the system being developed or the development system. So today we are able to capture something, and the key points were the system requirements are intended to communicate the function that the system should provide. And remember, class, when we started this, I was able to tell you that the main thing of doing this as a developer, you have to know the CDL, software development life cycle. You have to know the objective, the goal. You have to know all these activities so that when you're developing your software, it will be useful, helpful, and it will be resourceful to you at the end because you know what you are doing. And remember, we have said also there are policies, there are standards in every organization that you are supposed to follow so that you come up with a good system. So at the end of this unit, you become developers, good developers. You'll be able to be, most of you say they are doing their project. If you are doing your project, you will be able to know these requirements I require. And I also have to know the policies. So when you're presenting your project, you'll be able to tell us, these are my objectives. You know, when you're developing a software, you want to be able to solve the problem to that organization. So, hey, wachani niende sasa tuende chat. So what we are saying, sina corona, ni mate. So what we are saying, you have to be a good developer. So every time I'm going to be reminding you, as a software engineer person, as a software ICT person, you have to know the standard and also the policies of everything. So thank you very much for attending my class. I am pleased by you guys, and we are going to go after this. You can break for 10 minutes, then you join the online class so that we finish by 1. So thank you so much. God bless you. Please, before you go, poll for me. Did you love my class? Did you learn something? Say yes. If you know, also say you never loved the class, you never liked it. So I'm going for polling. Thank you, Lillian. Thank you. Os, Mutune, Masi, Onwa, Mudomi. Thank you, all of you. You know, I always take attendance at the end of the class. So that someone does not come for 3 minutes. So, wow. I'm so pleased. Thank you, guys. God bless you. Stay safe at home. And remember to pray for your friends. Remember to pray for your family. We shall overcome Corona. And we shall meet as a class. Studies shall continue. You shall succeed in whatever you have been praying for. So it is time you also take your time to be close to God, and God is also going to help you in your academics, all your problems. I also tell my students, I know at home you're facing so many challenges. Sometimes you lack bundles, sometimes you're not in a convenient environment, sometimes your parents do not understand you as a student. I advise my students, it's time to take calm, understand your parents also, they are going through financial problem, understand them also, they have problems, and so become good to them, understand them, don't help them to die of BP, don't help them to die of diabetes. So this is the time you're supposed to be very calm. So many things are happening at home, and we are telling our students to stay safe, to be good, and always take care of yourself. And if you need our help as lecturers, feel free anytime, any day to contact us. And you remember, we love you so much as our students. Remember to take care, and God bless you. Thank you for your time. Tuonane sasa, twende kwa chats. Bye bye. God bless you. Bye. Ma'am, Unjalala?